Hi guys, welcome to your first flipped video for 6th grade math. I know that you guys did these a little bit last year with Mrs. Menning, but I wanted to give you a review of what we talked about in class and things that I expect out of you while you watch a video. Okay, first of all, this is here to help you learn. It doesn't do you any good to space off and not really pay attention or follow along. Okay, that's going to result in a really poor checkpoint grade and then you spending time after school redoing. Okay. You need to be taking detailed notes. That means that everything that I write on my paper, you write on your paper. At the end of the video, the substitute will be checking your notes to make sure that they look like mine. If he or she does not think that they are good enough, then you will be rewatching the video. So my advice is to just fill out the notes correctly the first time and do a good job with it. For lesson 16, we're going to be talking about surface area and volume. Our goal for this lesson is to contrast surface area and volume to figure out how they are different. Alrighty? So for each quantity, it says choose one or more appropriate units of measurement. For the last two rows, think of a quantity that could be appropriately measured with the given unit. Okay? So if we were going to measure the perimeter of a parking lot, which of these things do you think that it would be most logical to use? Okay? Now, perimeter we know does not involve square inches, square feet, or anything. So all of these labeled with a square or cubic we know are definitely wrong. Okay, so we might measure the parking lot in feet or in meters. Okay, we would not use millimeters because millimeters is a very tiny measurement and a parking lot's typically a pretty big thing. All right, if we wanted to find the volume of the semi-truck, okay, volume is measured in cubic measurements because it involves three sides because it's a three-dimensional shape. So cubic kilometers would be way too big for a semi-truck. So cubic yards would be the most logical. Okay. To find the surface area of a refrigerator, okay, so we're talking about area, so we know that it's got to be one of these three that are labeled square. Okay, miles would be way too big for a refrigerator. Inches might be a little bit small, but we could probably do it. So we could use square inches and square feet. Would definitely be a good option. Okay, if you wanted to measure the length of your eyelash, okay, your eyelash is pretty small, so millimeters would be a great option. To find the area of the state, okay, back here we're to the square measurements because we're talking about area, and square miles would be the most logical. Okay, a state is very big, so we need a big measurement tool. The volume of an ocean. Okay, volume involves three things, so we're talking about cubic. Okay, and we could do either or. We could do cubic yards or cubic kilometers. All right, for the last two, you are supposed to think of two on your own that you could measure in miles or in cubic meters. Okay, so for miles, try and think of one on your own. It should be a big measurement because miles is a big way to measure things. An example would be the distance of a road. Okay. For 8, it says cubic meters. Okay, cubic means we're talking about volume, so possibly the volume of a swimming pool could be measured in cubic meters. Okay, when you are ready, you can flip the page. Remember, you should be pausing, rewinding, taking good notes during this video. Alrighty, so for this example, you will not actually get your own cubes, but I'm going to show you two different shapes that I have made out of snap cubes, and we'll use mine as the example for the lesson, okay? So here's one, and here's the second. Can kind of rotate them over so you guys can see what they look like, okay? Both of these are made out of 8 blocks, okay? So let's complete a table here. It says to give a name or label for each one. So we will label them green and red. Okay, And first it wants us to determine the volume. If you remember the formula for volume from 5th grade, volume is equal to length times width times height. Okay, so let's take a look at our green one here. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2 times 1. Okay, our height is 1. So our volume is equal to 8 units cubed. Okay, now we can determine the surface area. Okay, we have 8 on this side, which means we have 8 on the other side. We have 4 on both the right and left. And then we have 2 on top and 2 on bottom. Okay, so surface area, remember, is the adding of all of our sides individually. Okay, so 8 plus 2 is 10, 8 plus 2 is 10, so that gives us 20, and 4 plus 4 is 8, so 28. Okay, let's talk about our red shape now. Okay, so we have a length of 2 plus a depth of 2 plus a height of 1, 2. Okay, so our volume is equal to 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8 units squared. Okay, 8 units cubed, excuse me. Okay, that makes sense because these are both made out of 8 blocks. I already told you that, so they should have the same volume even though they look different. Okay, let's look at surface area here. Okay, we have 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, so we have 4 on the front, 4 on the back, 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom, and 4 on each side. Okay, so our surface area is equal to 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, or 4 times 6, which is 24 units squared. Realize we forgot our label over here of 28 units squared. Okay, so you can see that they have the same volume, but their surface areas are different. So we know that you can have the same volume, but your surface area might be different. Okay, opposite holds true. You could have the same surface area, but your volumes could be different. Alrighty, make sure you have that table filled in. Pause the video if you need to. And when you're ready, we're going to move down to where it says 16.3, which is comparing prisms without building them. All right, so we have 3 different prisms here, and I have built them to show you guys. You can draw them down here if you would like to, if you feel like this is needed, but this is an optional part down here at the bottom, okay? You do not have to draw them. Okay, it says that prism A is 1 centimeter by 11 centimeters by 1 centimeter. Okay, so we have a block that looks like this. Okay, they want us to compare surface area and volume. Okay, so let's find for prism A. Okay, volume is found by multiplying. So we know that our height is 1 times length of 1 times width of 11. So our volume is equal to 11 centimeters cubed. You can see they give us the label here. Okay, to find our surface area, I'm going to abbreviate that with SA. Okay, we know that we have a side of 11. We actually have 4 sides of 11. So 4 times 11, plus we have 1 on top and 1 on bottom. Okay, so 44, 43, 44. So 44 centimeters squared. Okay, remember, if you need to, you can draw that out to help yourself, but you definitely don't need to. And I just realized that this should not say 44. 4 times 11 is 44, plus 1 is 46. Sorry about that. Alrighty, let's go on to Prism B. I'm going to do this one in a different color. Okay. It says it's 2 by 7 by 1. Okay, so it looks more like this. Okay, volume, we know it's 1 times 2 times 7, which gives us 14 cubic centimeters. Okay, and let's find our surface area. Okay, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 here, and 14 on the back. So 2 times 14, plus we have 7 on one side, 7 on the other, so 2 times 7, plus we have 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Okay, we can write a simpler sentence here, which would give us 28 plus 14 plus 4, which gives us a surface area of 46 centimeters squared. Okay, so you can see A and B have the same surface area, but their volumes are different. Alrighty, let's look at C. And this white blends in a little bit. Okay, the volume of C, it tells you, is 3 by 5 by 1. Which gives you 15 cubic centimeters. Okay, and surface area, we have a side of 15 on the front and 15 on the back. So 2 times 15, plus we have 5 on one edge, 5 on the other. So 2 times 5, plus 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. Okay, let's simplify our multiplication. So we have 30 plus 10 plus 6, which gives us a surface area of 46 centimeters squared. All right, so all three of these shapes have the same surface area, but their volumes are different. Alrighty, you can flip the page when you're ready. And it says to analyze the volumes and surface areas of the prism. What did you notice about them? Okay, so down here you should write 2 observations, whatever you notice. There's no correct answer. It could be as simple as they all have the same surface area or that their volumes are different. Okay, you will have different answers and that is okay. When you're done doing that, you can follow along with me. We're going to highlight some important things in our summary here. Okay, length is a one-dimensional part of a geometric figure. We can measure it in millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers. It just depends on the size of the object you're measuring. Okay, area is a two-dimensional attribute. We measure area in square units. Okay, so area is two-dimensional and we measure it in square units. Alrighty, volume is a three-dimensional and we measure it in cubic units. Okay, that's why we use the exponent of 3. Okay, surface area and volume are different attributes of a 3D figure. So surface area is two-dimensional measure, talks about the 2D measure, and volume is a three-dimensional measure. Okay, two figures can have the same volume but have different surface areas, and you can read through this example. Or two figures can have the same surface area but different volumes, and you have another example. Remember, these are summaries, so not a lot to do. It's a summary of the lesson. When you're ready, you can show these notes to the substitute. If they okay you, then you can start working on your practice problems. Your practice problems are due tomorrow.